Hey kids, good morning. Mark Miller here, your good buddy. We're going to write some code today, I think. We'll try to figure some stuff out. And we're continuing work on the Dungeons and Dragons map part of the game that we're building. Hold on a second, I'm just noticing this is sticking out ridiculously high. Glad to have you with us, and let's get some music started. We're going to have Rory join us in about an hour. He'll hang out, and in the meantime, we'll try to get some stuff done. So, let me show you where I am. I was working out, looking out over at this Ashley Davis's WPF custom control for zooming and panning, and it was pretty good. It was pretty well written, pretty well documented, and this morning I decided to incorporate it into the code that we have built. And I just got that working, finished that up seconds before we started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the work I just did so you can see where we left off, and then I'll reintegrate the work back in again. And I'll show you what we did, and then we'll figure out, and from there we'll decide what we have to do to get everything to work, because there is a little bit of conflict here between the two. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to comment all of this dock panel out right here. And let's see if we can get nested comments. Looks like we do. And then we're going to come over here and undo that right there. So there is our what we had before. And let's see if that all works. We'll kind of show you where we left off. Looks like I'm going to have to move all of this commented out as well, I suppose. Let's hope it's not too integrated with the other code that was already there. All right, so I think we can go just do that. Let's see if that runs now. And if you recall, we were loading up those files we were generating over there at Donjon. So this is what it looks like without the zoom right here. The cool thing that we added is the ability to select. So I can click and drag, get a rectangle, whatever I want here, and now that's my selection. I can also shift click and drag, and I can add to my selection. So I can create a two-dimensional selection here that's irregularly shaped. I can also control click and drag and cut a hole in the selection or trim the selection by some amount. So we have essentially what I would call a first-class selection mechanism in the two-dimensional space. This could be used, for example, to create an irregularly shaped room. So we select the squares, the tiles of the map, and then we would say, do something in this space right here. Make it a room, or make it a corridor, something along these lines, or put grass in this area, or rock in this area as the surface. So from the standpoint of getting the selection and working with it, it's pretty good. I can also I think I can shift click. Yeah, I can even do a single dot here if I want to as well. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good with regards to doing the selection. But there's no clearing of the selection. There's nothing else that works with that. And there's no zoom in or out. And zooming is a critical component of this. Right, Fred? What do you think? Fred is like, he's not so sure about whether it's a critical component or not, I suppose, right now. Which, let me look into that for a second, because I feel like I might need to reinitialize player data. I think I might have or it could be drag and put overlay. I've got it there. Let's see one more time if there's any difference. There we go. Fred says it's good now. All right, cool. So Fred's is up for it. I'm up for it. We want to add the zoom. So I'll give you a little overview of the code that we brought in. Basically, it consists of two different pieces here. This is the main app that's got all the UI work in it. And then there's this other project down here called Zoom and Pan. And it's got the Zoom and Pan control, which is basically all it's focused on is mapping the content coordinates to the view coordinates. So my content can be giant, but my view might be small. And then so we're going to figure out how to map those from one to another. There's also an iScroll info interface implementer, which is just it's just a partial of that class. And so it goes in and just adds can vertically scroll, can horizontally scroll, and just fills out that iScroll info interface implementation. There's an animation helper that's part of it, and there is a theme that's part of it that basically comes in and defines this part content here so that we can grab and work with it externally so the code can do that. And that's it. And so I took pretty much, let's run this actually. We'll run the sample app and you can kind of get a sense of what it does. So here's the app. There's also a really nice, by the way, discoverability window that pops up when you run this. So I really like it. I think Ashley Davis did a really good job on a lot of this. And so it just tells you what you can do, what you can hit here. So I can come over here, I hit the plus key and I'm zooming in, the minus key zooms out. I can left drag on this, should be allow me to do panning. Oh, I guess I got to zoom in and now I can pan by clicking and left drag on the rectangle so I can actually move the rectangles around as well. So what's interesting here is that the rectangles can take the mouse clicks, but the background will do the dragging. So part of our integration is to figure out exactly how we're going to divide up the mouse activity so that we get the best of both worlds. We get the ability to do this killer selections, but we also get the ability to zoom in and out. Shift plus left drag drags out a rectangle to zoom to. Now this is super cool. So we're out here, and this is exactly what we need for the map. If we've got, for example, let's just drag a bunch of these together right here. And here's where that activity is. I can hold down the shift key, drag that region, and it'll zoom that up for me, which is perfect for the show, right? If we want to come in on some action, we want to get that rectangle and zoom it in, that's super cool. So we want to be able to support that, or I can even come in here and just come in on that piece. So that shift left drag is awesome. I definitely want to preserve that feature. There's a backspace, so I can hit the backspace key and it'll zoom to that previous zoom level. This is not a stack, by the way, so it doesn't go forwards and backwards. And also, it doesn't do this thing that I've kind of always wanted to do when playing around with Zoom, but I've never really had an opportunity to do it because in the CodeRushed world, where we're building developer tools, add-ons, there's not a whole lot of zooming going on. But every time I've used Zoom in an application, I've always been like, oh, they're doing it wrong. And I've never really seen a zoom that's correct. I've seen a couple that are not bad. Like Google Maps is pretty good. And so if we get enough time to work on this, I'm excited because I'll be able to implement, probably maybe for the first time in any software, what I think and what I've essentially theorized as the best zoom out there. And it actually involves moving the mouse as well and changing the anchor point. And we might get into that. We might go into all of that because it's something I'm interested in, and I think it's provably correct, the theory. WorldWake says, hey, boomers. Hey, Zoomers. WorldWake, so glad to have you with us today, buddy. Glad you're here. I'm still thinking about a fanfare for you. Oh, speaking of fanfares. Jetsam there. Marcus, voice programmer.
He's in the house.
The best Zoom out there. Yeah, well, that's what I want to do. I gave this some thought several years ago when I realized how to do it, and I realized, oh, okay, here's what, and it's provably right. It is. You can essentially go in and say it gives you the best of a lot of different criteria for how you might evaluate whether a Zoom is good or not. And one of those criteria is fewest amounts of moves of the mouse. You don't have to pick up the mouse and move it around. So that's it. Marcus, voice programmer. Is there a way to add custom words to the CodeRushed spell checker? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. But you might mean in a, like here, for example, I've got orage right here. And I should be able to come in here and say, add to dictionary orage. But are you asking, like, you got a whole list of words and you want to add them at once? If that's your question, Marcus, I got to send that to the devs. I bet there's a way, but it's probably open up a file and add it kind of way. That's my guess. If we go in and go into support in CodeRushed menu, so I'm in CodeRushed menu support, and you might have this in your extensions menu instead of here, depending on what settings you have. But you go into the settings folder, there might be, let's bring this up here, there might be our spell checker somewhere in here. I don't know.
Jadisco 7, where are you? We need your help!
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, alright.
I got a bad feeling about this guy, kids. Oh yeah, he's bad. Get him! Good job, Jadisco.
I am.
One at a time is fine, thanks. Okay, Marcus is good. So, there's some spell checker settings here. Custom dictionary, I bet that's it right there. If you need to add more. So one at a time, yeah, you just do that. It's just as simple as that. You just basically come in there and say add to dictionary. Okay, all right. Let's see. So what else? Anything else in your shift plus right click to zoom out? I don't care about that. I didn't like that much. It's like, yeah, who cares? Nobody, you know, I'm not disparaging the author. I'm just disparaging the feature. The author, I still think I hold in high estimation. This guy's done some great work here. And look at that, he's got a 5-star, right? 4.96. Have I rated this guy yet? I'll give him a 5 stars right here. There you go. You must have a confirmed email address to vote. Yeah, I've done that. You guys just chill. Mouse wheel forward and backward, zooming in and out. And here's where the opportunity is to improve the zoom, right? Because the anchor point, the question is, where is the anchor point? Where are we zooming in from? Now, they're actually anchoring around the mouse right now, which is actually super cool. Depending on where my mouse is, like if I put it in the upper, I'll put it in the bottom right corner over here, it's anchoring there. The problem is, the thing that's the problem is here is when we are, hold on, I have to think about this to remember the work I did before. There's what we want to do when we're in this situation, yeah. Hey! I'm trying to do a show, Pudding. What is this tasty though? Trying to do a show, Pudding. Come on. What's going on? I got some green screen issues there. Let's just clear that out and fix that. Pudding. Yummy. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So check this out. So there's not much we have to change on this to make it into the perfect zoom. Because it's focused, it takes the mouse cursor position and anchors it, right? It does the zoom. So zooming in here changes the view, but keeps the anchor right where my mouse is. Coming up over here does the same thing. The problem is this: if I'm zooming in on an area that's near the edge of the window, what I really want to do is I want to see more, and I want to move it towards the center. So if I move it towards the center like this, and I keep the mouse here, then everything goes wrong. What I have to do is I have to move it gradually towards the center as I'm zooming and move the mouse to the center. I know it's crazy, but I think I can get it to work, and I think it's going to be awesome when I get it to work, because then I just go to an area of interest and I'll simply go in and I'll say, let's go look at this, and as I do it, it'll slowly move the mouse in and move the view in, and then that will allow me, without dropping the mouse button at all, to basically say, okay, let's zoom out really quickly and see what I want. Come over here, zoom in, and now that area is in the middle and it's maximizing that view. Super useful and important as well if one of these pieces of interest is out over near the edge over here, like that. And because I want to be able to zoom in, like for example here. So I want to come in and zoom in over here, watch what happens. See, I don't want that. I want it over in here. I want this thing rocking so I can see the whole thing, because I'm interested in that. Okay? So that's the fix. That's the correct way to do the zoom. Now, so this is the demo app right here that came with this code project. The integration, I'll show you the integration, what it looks like. Now, before we do that, let's just recall, here's what's happening now, right? I've got this killer selection here where I can select an area, and I'm using the Science of Great UI principles to guide me to make the decision that I want to emphasize my selection and de-emphasize the part that's not. This is generally the reverse of what people do. Generally, the opposite of this happens. The part that's selected somehow stands out from the rest, but it's harder to read the code or see it. See the pieces, whatever you have, the map, that sort of thing. So now what I'm doing instead is I'm de-emphasizing the other piece, so now you can see what's selected. And I've got drawing a line around it, and I'm just basically collecting those lines and drawing those lines. So you see this line is in a graphics path right here around it. And so that's what's happening. Okay, so now we want to combine the two. Let's go back, and we will undo this so we get all that code back that we had, and we're going to undo the two pieces here. We're going to recomment out this piece and uncomment out that piece. Run it, and you can see what it looks like now when we run it. Down in all that wiggly love. I mean, hello, Jetsam. This is cool. All right, here we go. When we start up, holy cow, we are zoomed in. It says this is 100%. I don't think that's right. Is that right? 60 pixels? Does that look like 60 pixels from there to there? I don't know. Let's take a screenshot. Let's open up my image editor and see what my image editor says. We might be at 60 pixels, but that doesn't seem right. Is that right? When I counted, there would be like 53 across. 1, 2, 3. This seems like way off. No, this looks like double the resolution, 100%. What it looks like. I'm starting to get some fun ideas for this. So much pudding was there. There was a lot of pudding there, Genesco 7. All right, here we go. Starting up. Paste. And let's get a selection here. Let's just do this. Let's get that guy and do that. And what is the size? Whoa, it is 100%. That's 100%. Okay. All right. So not bad. Okay, so that's at 100% right there. So also kind of cool because those tiles are going to be 60 by 60. So when we're zoomed into this level, which is a pretty tight level for a map, there's going to be no stretching on those. There's going to be no scaling or zooming on those tiles, which means we'll be seeing them at full resolution. So the detail will be pretty high here. And when we come in to double that, which is maybe about right there, well, here we go. We can see right there, 200%, right? We're even tighter. We've got those will be scaled up to 60 by 60. I mean, those will be doubled up, scaled to 120 by 120. So there'll be some blurring, but those are the tiles. And on top of those, we're going to have the players, the player tokens, essentially the miniatures, which are going to be rendered in 3D and then generated out as PNG files. as a top-down view of the miniature. And that's going to be at 120. So even at this zoom level, the characters are going to be no blur at all. And if we go any further, then everything's going to be scaled. So we really go in tightly. But even at this level, there's going to be an illusion of essentially 100% acuity, 100% resolution. So that's going to be pretty cool. Since this is already built on a grid, how do you feel about adding colored spots to represent where your characters are located and how they're moving around? Pudding, let me show you what I'm going to do. It's going to take a second to load this up. I got to start up Adobe After Effects. I think it's going to make me log in. I've got some sort of login problem on my machine I haven't investigated the solution for. It makes me log in every time I restart. But I'm going to do this. I'll open up a file. I'll show you what this is going to look like. And I think you're going to agree, holy cow, this is going to look super cool. Yeah. So right now, this is all just color-coded. Rooms are kind of pink in color, and corridors are blue, and black is essentially nothing. Let me show you what it's going to look like, though. Hold on. After Effects is loading up. Yep, it wants me to log in. All right, fine. Logging in. I'm into the music. You're all set. Now you can use our product because you have internet. Okay. Whoops. Whoa. Shoot. Oh, you guys. I'm going to get those programmers. So, After Effects team told me I was all set. I closed down the login window, and it shut down After Effects on me. And now is After Effects seriously not starting up? I just started it again, and it shut it down. Come on, guys. I think I had to hold it for another second, even though it told me in the browser window that I was all set. It shut it down. Let's see, starting up again. Looking at the splash screen. I guess this music is appropriate. Will After Effects load or not? I can't drag the splash screen to show it to you, so it's staying on that monitor. All right, here we go. Loading up. And it's not asking me, apparently, there we go. It does not asking me for it. Let's open up the Dungeons & Dragons monster, 3D monster project. So here it is. So check this out. This is the character Willie Shaker right here. Willie is his profession is a carpet layer. So you can see he's got the carpet. He's holding it. And and I'm just doing a very subtle animation in here, like this. And I'm going to turn this into a 120 by 120 sequence of PNGs that we'll put in our gaming engine. And I'm going to put the little the disc underneath this. The disc isn't here yet, but that's going to be underneath here. So that's what this is going to look like. And so this is going to be the 3D character. It'll be scaled to about 120 by 120, so about 2/3 this size, I think. And what's super cool is that disc that he's standing on, right, for the miniatures, the 3D miniature disc. That's going to be translucent, and it'll be color-coded, and we're going to be able, just like we're doing graphic effects on the dice, above the dice and below the dice, just like we're doing those. In fact, I think I can maybe do there it is right there. Just like we're doing effects above and below the dice here. Right? On some of these dice, you can see there's a cloud, like up in the necrotic damage in the upper left over there. There's a cloud on top of the dice and a cloud below the dice. Just like we're doing that. Just like we're doing that, Fred says. Fred is, that's his version of a wave, I think he's doing, yeah. Just like we're doing that, we can do the same thing with the discs. So you'll be able to see where the players are in the game. You'll be able to see if it's their turn because we'll activate the disc in some way. When they go prone, we're going to have to turn them, knock them sideways. We'll have something for that as well. And so I'm pretty excited about this. I think that this is going to look really, really cool when this is all done. As usual, right, looking really, really cool when it's all done is kind of the trademark of Overkill Productions, which is my fictitious thanks, Fred. My fictitious production company, which doesn't really exist, but my wife mocks me, jokes jestingly that it actually does exist. So now, with the zooming, here's what's going on. I can come down here and say I want to zoom in. Let's see. Can I actually zoom in on a particular piece of interest? Well, no, it looks like it's lost that kind of thing. Where's its center point? It's like its center point is up here, not down here. It's like I kind of lost it and I'm not sure why. So my zoom isn't seemingly centered around the piece I'm interested in anymore. It's like I lost the anchor point. So that's kind of sad for me because now I'm going to have to figure that out. Because if I want to zoom in down here, I have my mouse down here, that should stay underneath the caret. Let's go back over to the other zooming app. Where is it? Here it is. I wonder if we have the same problem. If I come in here, oh yeah. Is it until, so yeah. Now it's working, right? Now, let's see over here on this edge. Yes, and over here, yeah. So now it's working. Why isn't it working on my side? Let's move this all the way down the bottom right because that's where we were having the problem. Okay, so we did this. We have the problem. I think we have the problem until we stop scrolling. Until we have full scroll bars in both directions. It's got to be. So let's get to that point. Oh, and why don't we have a scroll bar this way? Okay, so we have a problem that way too. I think we're not telling it how big we are. That might be a problem. Let's go look into that first. Like I say, I think that might be the problem. I don't really know. The zoom and pan control is here. It's got a grid. Oh, the grid, the width and height. This might be the problem. It's got a width and height of the grid. And I bet that's it. Let's go look in our code. Somewhere in here I'm setting width, I bet. Here we go. No, wait. Set selector size. That's not what I want. I want get tile. No. There it is. Right here. Okay. So let's kill the app and let's do this. Let's basically select these two, duplicate these lines, change content to the grid, and we'll accept everything else. Okay. See if that makes a change. Because I bet that height and width of the grid needs to be kept in sync with the piece inside of it. Let's see what's happening now. Come down here. Yes. I'm going to call that a fix. Nice, I like it. So I don't like this when I'm here and I say zoom in and it goes over here. I think in that case it's got to move the mouse. If we're going to keep it all on screen, we at least need to move the mouse so it's in the same spot. Because otherwise we kind of get this and we lose it, right? I want to be able to use the wheel to explore like crazy. So, yeah, I think I got to do it. So from here to here, I got to move the mouse so that it's still in the same relative square. All right, let's see what else is going on. So now I can click and drag like this, but the problem is I can no longer select. I've got basically, I'm getting a start of a selection here, I think, or something like that, but that's it. And so we should maybe figure out that. That might be the first thing actually to solve is why isn't selection working anymore? And it seems clear that it's not working because we're probably hooking an event. And that's in mouse down. I think I want to comment on this line of code here and see what happens there. I don't want to pan. Or alternatively, actually, let's pan only when the control key is down. Can I do that? No, control is for selecting. You know, one of the things I really like is when the space bar is down. How do I check to see if the space bar is down? I wonder if I can do like a control key down template. Keys. No, I don't want the modifiers. How do I tell if the space bar is down? WPF space or key down. Key down. Tell if key is down. Not modifiers, not control. Keyboard.is key down. Sweet. I like that. Keyboard.is key down. Keys.space, is that right? No. Maybe it's just key.space. Okay. So if the space is down, I'm going to allow it. Otherwise, I won't. So let's go back and run it. And so now let's see what happens. Still nothing's happening. If the space bar is down, can I pan? Ah, sweet. So that part is nice. But whatever we need to make this thing work is not happening. What's interesting is enough is happening to get the one selection, but it's like those, we're not capturing the mouse. So here's the capture right here. We're not actually getting there though, are we? We're not getting there, so that's good. Is capture mouse happening anywhere else? Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what we get out here. Okay, so we're going to capture the mouse in here, it looks like. Selection type is replace. So we're now doing content on capture mouse. Oh, but does content have... Let's go look at... Oh, I think I know what the problem is. We lost some event handlers when we modified the code. Hey, Marcus, voice programmer, just a question. I have a question for you. Do you do a lot of voice input programming? Just a wild guess. I don't know if I'm doing psychic, if I'm psychic today or not. Fred randomly spawned? Here, you want to see Fred really randomly spawn? Fred can do that. Fred, where'd you go, buddy? Okay, you okay, Fred? All right, he's good. He's back and he's good. Yeah, I can't use the keyboard for very long. Or all the mouse. Or maybe all or the mouse. Interesting. So are you actually coding with your voice? That's super interesting. I actually have done a little bit of research in that in the past. Writing code to, writing voice interfaces to write code. I find one of the hardest things to do is navigating quickly. Do you do anything else? Do you augment with like vision tracking at all? I'm interested in that, like gaze tracking, being able to see. All right, Fred. Enough of that, Fred. No more. Where were you, by the way, Fred? No idea? Okay. Dragon Professional Individual. Okay. Cool. And how do you find, so last time I looked at it was, I don't know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. What, do you find, like, are there parts that are like, okay, this is taking a while, or are you just, you're comfortable with the speed? I tried the tracking with the eyes, but it was expensive and hurt my eyes. Yeah, it is expensive. Interesting. Super interesting. Okay. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I had some mouse moves. Mouse up. This is my problem right here. let's go up at the canvas that we replaced it with, which is this one, and add those back in. See if that solves the problem. I have loaders stuck on the side, of my monitor every 50 pixels, and I use a script to position the mouse. Yeah, I like it. Super interesting, Marcus. Really like it. All right, let's see if we can select. Come on. Yes, look at that. Look at that. I love it. And oh, at this zoom level, I've found a problem. Our lines for drawing are not extending far enough to the right. See that? In fact, we can really zoom in and see it. See that? Also, you can see the breaks in the lines too, between the lines. You're kind of cheating, seeing how I'm doing this. I'm adding these lines one at a time. Okay. So that's super cool. It's a lot of progress made in like a couple seconds. We just had a problem. We're in selection mode now, and I just did a shift. I'm actually, two things are working at once right now. I want to extend the selection like this, but then that other feature, the zoom in, is happening as well. So we need to disable the zoom in if we are selecting. So that's what we need to do. There's my mouse down, my mouse move. I think it's my mouse down is the one I want to get to. Here it is. No. Where is it? Zoom and pan control mouse. Let's just hit mouse up, down. Also, I think it's a testament to the quality of the code that we're integrating that this is going so well. Usually, you know, if you've been here on this show, you know that.
Disclaimer! Mark doesn't know Jack!
You know that. And as a result, we generally are just smacking straight on into problems, into this problem space. Okay, so cool. I love this, having the space down to pan. We need to do shift plus initialize the zooming mode. So if this is not 0 and it's left or right, we are going to kill the right. I'm just going to kill the app running for right now, and I'm going to get rid of this. We're getting rid of the right zooming. The right button is not going to zoom. We're going to say shift plus left initiates the special zooming mode, zooming to rect mode. But then we only want to do that if our other selection mode is what is it? I guess I should, let's go, let's not use search, let's type in selection, did I call it selection mode? What's is it? Selection type, there it is. There it is, okay, cool. Let's take this to its own file. Let's see who's holding that. Map selection. That's what I'm looking for right there. And now let's get back to where we were. Just hitting escape to jump back. And selection.selection type equals selection type.none. Okay, so if there's no selection, whoops. I guess I typed in if and I meant this. Right there. Pixel TV Radio, do you support telephone? I'm not sure what that question, who that question is directed to. Marcus Voice Programmer says, help. I think you want more information, Marcus. We don't have a help command here, but what, do we have a GitHub command? I think we have that, right? There's the active projects. If you click on Mr. Announcer Bot right there, you're going to get to a page out here with a README on it, and the README tells you a little bit about what you can do. And it doesn't talk about drone. How do we start with the drone? I forget where we get the drone command out there. The drone overviews. It's been a while since I brought that up. I think, as I recall, the help for this is in my overlay file, the overlay project. Overlay manager. Is it background worker? Oh, the commands are here. Maybe it wasn't Mr. Announcer Bot. Looking for a string here. Question command. All right, so let's see that. All right. The first paragraph that just came out of the rocket controls. So you can use any of these commands: launch, dock, retract, extend, drop. And then your drone controls are out here as well. So you can bring out a drone by typing in bang drone. Like that. And there you can see I'm flying around. And you can move that drone just by hitting R for right or L for left, that sort of thing. And you can follow with a number, like I can type an up 12 and it'll go up for 12 seconds. And in this case, it'll just bounce off the top like that. If I want to get rid of my drone, I can type in drone space -1 and that should blow me up. Well, it should. I don't know why it didn't. Huh. That's weird. Try again. Is drone -1 not working all of a sudden? Why is that the problem? Interesting. I don't know why that's the case. You can also do a launch command like this. That'll launch the CodeRushed rocket. And with CodeRushed rocket, you can control it by typing in full-on words like right, that sort of thing. And you can also follow those up with a number as well. Like that. With the CodeRushed rocket flying, you can type in bang seed and you can drop a seed out and you can start planting flowers around the screen if you want to. So those are some of the things that you can do. Okay, I'm going to get my guy up out a little out of the way so I'm not blocking the code so much there. And let's do up 0.5. Just go up a little bit. Oops, I didn't do that right. Up 0.5. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. Rory's going to come in a little bit. And by the way, you guys want to stay tuned because I'm going to tell you an amazing story of spontaneous human combustion coming up in when Rory comes in and joins us in about, I don't know, 20 minutes from now. It's a true story. And you're going to be like, your mind is going to be maybe a little bit blown by the story. Okay, so here we go. Mouse handling mode. So now we're only going to go in there if the selection type is none. That should do it. Let's see if that does it. That solves that double zooming thing from happening. And I'm like getting pretty excited because we're getting something that's pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Zooming out. Let's shift click to zoom into the area. Nice. But it thought we were selecting as well. So we're not quite fixed on that. So let me do a selection And now shift click. This should be stopped. It's stopped. Good. So now we're not doing that thing where we were zooming in on that piece we were grabbing. Okay. And control cuts the hole. And now we have no way to clear the selection either, which I should add at some point. I think I want, if I'm clicking outside of here, for the selection to clear. That's what I think I want to do. I can also just like click and drag. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's not a good idea. Yeah, I need to clear the selection. So I need a clicking outside of here is what I need to do. So let's look at how we're going to implement that. Let's work on that clear selection piece now. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere out here. And I think it's a mouse down in scroll viewer. Is that going to be true? Or maybe in the zoom and pan control. Let's go look at what's going on here. Let's set a breakpoint here. Let's run it again and see if we hit this breakpoint when we click outside. Zoom out, click outside. Yep, we get it. I need to add something else to this. Because so let's run it. Let's see where we are. Where is that point? Can we determine the points outside of the range? Okay. Content ordinate mouse down point. It's that's really cool. The zoom and pan control mouse down and the content mouse down point is there. So that tells me where it is with regards to the content. I think you could almost argue, let's set another breakpoint here. Let's run it. I wonder if I'm clicking really close, it's going to be like a -1. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's like -11. So, one way we could do this is we could say, well, look, if the x dot x is less than 0, or this dot x is greater than the grid dot width, maybe it's better to say content dot width, or the y is less than 0, or oops, that's not quite what I wanted to do here. Y is greater than the grid dot height. If that's the case, then if selection dot selection type equals selection type dot, if it's not equal to none, then I want to clear the selection. Then I want to say selection. Then I think we've got a function here that says clear the selection. I think it's that. And what does that do? Yeah, that calls clear selection UI. So that's good. If that's the case, so if we're clicking outside, we're going to do that. So now let's see what happens. I've got a selection, and I click outside. I've got a selection. I click up here. Nice. Got a selection. Click down here. Sweet. Selection. Click out here. Got a selection. Let's click in here, and I can just do another selection. All right. So that's working for me as well. Nice. Click outside. Now, we've got a problem is if we're zoomed in and we have a selection, I have no way to to deal with this, to get this, to clear this. The other thing that's happening too is if I zoom in like this and I do this, I'm in a different mode. I'm not selecting anymore. I'm in the let's zoom in to see this thing, piece of detail mode is what I'm in. And we have the secondary problem where it thinks I'm actually adding to the selection. So we've got to kind of fix that piece right there, is what we have to do. Yeah, and look at that mess. So the graphic path is not being cleared out when we clear the selection either, it looks like. So let's go figure that out. Path, maybe, am I calling it? Outline. All right. Clear selection. Well, I am removing it, but I'm never, I'm not recreating it. So I need to go to that point where I'm removing it, and then I need to kill it. So that's one of the steps I need to do. So click away to kill it. Here's where I need to do this, I think is fair to say. And then now if I come in to look in, what? That didn't work? How is that not working? Let's see what's happening here. Create selection outline. Oh, we're getting other data here. Whether it's in the selection, hold on. The tile selected doesn't seem to be being set to false. Is that my problem? Selection.clear. Oh yeah, okay. It doesn't have anything, it doesn't know about it, so we've got to actually go, we've got to do one more thing on here in clear selection. So we're going to come over here. We need to go through all of the, I think I'm just going to do this, map dot clear selection. Oh, I've got it. Let's see what that's doing. I bet it does what I need to do. I think that's going to work. Okay, cool. That's easier than the code I was going to write. So let's see what happens now. Now if I come in and shift click, I still have this bug, so we got to fix that. But if I click out here and then shift click, I don't have the previous selection. Sweet. So that is good. Now I got to figure out, why am I doing this, right? Why am I, when I'm trying to zoom in on something and I release, why, and also why isn't my not zooming in? What's going on with that? It's like I lost that feature. Did I or no? Yeah, I lost the feature. I'm not zooming in. Okay, so let's go figure this out. I think it's just a little bit of juggling here that we need to do. There's that mouse down. The other mouse sound's coming from the tile itself that we created. Let's go take a look at that. Get selector panel. This is, I think, it. So this sets the timer. We evaluate the number of clicks, and this I added so that I could get a double click in as well. So here's the problem. We come in and we say we're adding. We're coming in here, but the thing is I think this logic needs to change here. Because if it's a shift key is down and we're not already selecting, it's not a selection anymore. It's a, you're dragging to select the window. I could change the control key too, to an alt. I could change the trigger key to an alt, and that could also solve this problem. Then I don't have multiple shift, two different things that do the same keystroke and mouse combination that does two different things. I'm kind of feeling that as my way out of here. So let's go find the shift. Here it is, right here. Let's change this code. Let's kill the app, and let's change this to alt. It's kind of a simple solution, but I don't mind it. I was at first thinking I didn't want to do this, but let's see how this works. All right, so now alt, and here's the window. Okay, there's two things going on. The UI that's responsive and moving around is the UI for the zoom and pan control. The UI that is that's the black and white UI that's kind of stuck to the snapping to the tile coordinate positions. That's the other UI that thinks we're selecting. Okay, we did get the feature back though, so that's good. So I can come in here, I can select something like that, alt, and select it. Wait, can I do it? Click away so I don't have anything. Wait, the feature was there. I'm alt selecting. What? Yeah, alt is only showing up in one place. Let's go back to the other handler I was in. I gotcha. I think I see what I have to do. So if we're in here, if it's got flag alt, then it's a none. And I think we're out. I'm going to try that. Okay, so alt. Wow. Now alt plus selecting is not doing anything. So I'm shift selecting now. Alt selecting is doing nothing. So are we never getting here? No, we're not getting there. What about here? What does this look like? That's true. That's true. Selection type is what? Add. Start selection. Selection type. There's add right there. Is that added set anywhere else? It's only assigned here. I don't get it. It looks and feels like this should be working. Is it a sequencing problem? Like a time, is one being called before the other? Alt key is down, I'm clicking and dragging. Rory.
How are you?
I'm good. You're watching the whole show in fast motion, buddy. I just realized.
Fred is moving at pace.
Yeah, he's moving a pace. Here's what Rory's watching right now. That's
Not so shabby yourself either.
What'd you say?
Not too shabby yourself. You're cracking on at a pace there.
Yeah, that's actually real time. It's me right now. Let's go in and try to get you fixed here, buddy. We're going to go in. As I recall, I come in and I change. I go into audio and video. I say, let's switch to my USB cam. Let's switch back and close it down. Did that fix it? No, it didn't fix it. Let me try. Sure. What'd you say?
You disappeared and you're back, but you're still fast.
Yeah, all right. Sorry. Well, anyway, here I'm going to share sounds with you so you at least get those. And how do I solve this? I forget. What did I do, Rory?
This is kind of previously on CodeRushed.
Maybe I have to change the USB cam settings, drop it down, then come back and bring up... it's a Skype thing is what I'm feeling. It's a Skype dance I have to do. That was it. That was it, Rory.
There you are.
Wow.
And in real time.
So, yeah, interesting. Okay, so I have to remember that. I have to essentially click OK on the options, even though the options seem to take effect. Anyway, Rory Becker's with us, kids, live from the UK. Rory, how you doing over there, buddy?
Hello, everybody. I'm doing pretty good.
I owe you an apology. Do you know that?
Really?
I do.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah. No, I do. Well, the last time I wasn't able to do the show because I lost internet or something like that. Guess who didn't tell you at all? Until you were like,
well, you know, I got
Mark,
the message,
I
actually.
canceled all my plans. I was going to meet with the Queen today. I told her no. I can't do it.
Dude, you're much more important than the Queen.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's up to you to decide that. I'm not going to influence you in any way. Audio sounds good. It says
Good to hear.
*6. *6. And I didn't tell you. And when you were like, are we on today? I don't see you. What's happening? I'm like, oh, yeah. The psychic thing does not work. Do you know that when I was a kid, I was like, I just assumed people could read my mind? And, you know, so I would be like, you know, I remember my mom is pouring me milk. And my dad's at the dinner table. And they're like, say when. And in my head, I'm like, when? And I pull the milk out from the glass out from underneath the milk. And the milk just goes all over the table. And my mom and dad are like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? And I was like, psychically told them the answer to that question. There's nothing wrong with me. I have psychic powers. That's all. And, you know, they were like, they were just yelling. So kind of interesting. I have a story to tell you.
Excellent.
An unbelievable story I promised everyone I would tell us. This is a story. Have you heard about spontaneous human combustion, Rory?
I am aware of the concept. It sounds a little far-fetched.
That's what I thought as well.
I'm suspicious of such things.
I was as well. But let me tell you the story. It's going to blow your mind. By the way, I have a friend. His name is Kevin. I won't tell you his last name. But his name, suffice to say, his name is Kevin. Kevin is a firm believer in spontaneous human combustion. And to which point, my eyes roll all the way to the back of my head, right? I'm like, Kevin, he's always like this. Is it getting warm in here? Does anybody else think it's warm? I feel like you think you're going to blow up again, don't you? He's like,
so he's concerned not just about spontaneous human combustion, but his own personal
specifically himself. He thinks he's going to blow.
If you're going to be worried about it, you really should worry about yourself in that respect.
Uh-oh. Who's that? Those guys look bad. That looks like the patriarchy to me. If only there were a feminist here who could take care of this problem. Okay.
Sex positive in the house.
Sex positive, ultra feminist is in the house. Sex positive. Welcome. So I got a good friend. My friend's named Kevin. He's always like, is it getting warm in here? Anybody? And I'm always like, you're not gonna blow up, Kevin. There's no such thing as spontaneous human combustion. And he's like, there are documentaries. They show ashes on the bed, right? So I'm like, whatever. Yesterday, Jenny Seven says Aliens was featured on my fanfare. That's right. Yeah. Yesterday, I'm in the room, in the home.
Yep.
Three family members in the house with me. Daughter, son, and my wife in the same room. And this music is perfect for this story. All of a sudden, in front of my face, I see smoke. Like this. My son's right next to me. I turn and I go, "Where's the smoke coming from?" And he looks around. He's like, "There's no smoke." And I look back, and I can taste it. And I look back, and the smoke is dissipating. And I realize, holy crap, the smoke is coming from my mouth. And I see more come out, white smoke, and I can taste it. I can taste it. Oh my God, look at Genescu 7. Look at what he's doing here. Perfect for the story.
Good stuff. Well done.
I see the smoke just fade and dissipate. I'm like panicked in my head. What can explain this? First thought is, have I taken a puff on a cigarette lately? No, I haven't smoked in my entire life. I don't know what that is. There's nothing in my body there's nothing that could explain this, right? And I'm like, I'm looking around. There's no smoke anywhere. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy, right? And I'm like, my mind's racing. Thoughts of Kevin. Every single interaction with Kevin are coming up to me. He's like, you could blow up. We could all blow up at any moment. He's like,
everything he's ever said that might warn me here.
I am flashing back. Yes, I'm flashing back to 100 times where he's like, is it hot in here? Is it getting hot in here? I can smell it. I can taste it. It's like my brain is like, and I saw it, right? I saw it and everything. And then I'm like, I can't tell anyone. If I talk, right, I realized just a second before I saw the smoke that I had burped. I am convinced there is something in my stomach that's the acid is doing something little that is on its way up and out. And I'm like, I am also convinced that I can't tell anyone. If I speak, that might happen again, and it might be over. That's
some serious indigestion.
I have 100% bought into Kevin's story for about 3/4 of a second. And in this time, and then I realize, Rory, this is going to blow your mind, that about 5 minutes before this happened, I took 2 magnesium supplements, which the theory is, and it has to be, got stuck in my throat where I couldn't feel them on the way down. I didn't take them with a lot of water. We're just sitting there, and the moisture was opening them up. I burped, sending air through, and what I was looking at was the magnesium supplement powder just shooting out and dissipating. That's what I was tasting, smelling, and seeing. Yeah. So, good. Kevin was not right. No, sex positive.
Not right.
There's no dragon in my tummy.
On the upside, great new party trick.
Gives us a pretty spectacular party trick. I was like, and I was like, oh, thank gosh, I came up with that theory, and it just has to be. There's just no, because I didn't blow up, kids. Everything was okay.
It's the simplest, most reasonable explanation.
But I was a believer for about 0.75 seconds. I was a believer, and I was panicked, and I was like, don't speak. You can't tell them you're about to explode. How will I say goodbye to my family, right? And so I was just kind of waving, I suppose, like this, like, goodbye, family.
See, how do you mime spontaneous human combustion?
Yeah, I know. It's like what is that, 3 words right there? First word.
Yeah. This is the single most vital game of charades you'll ever take part in.
Yeah. So Markin, this is dragon confirmed. The story's gross. Spontaneous combustion is better. You're true. It's true. It is a little gross, but it's absolutely 100% true, I believe. All right. So that's my story I told. That exhausted me. Phew. Oh, I didn't run to shower to control mess. There was not really a mess. It was so fine. The powder was so fine. It was like, and I looked for evidence of it. I was like, wait, where is it? But it was it. Oh, speaking of fire, hey, too soon. Woo! Too soon with the fire. Careful of the whip, as I like to call her. Putting brakes down some men. What are you talking about? Will Bennett, Matchmaster Matt.
That's an interesting. Oh, hang on, he's got an earlier one.
Yeah, here it is. Mr. Matchmaker Extraordinaire. He set the pudding up on a blind date with his future ex-wife, whipped cream. He does not believe they go so good. He does believe they go good together. Just looking at them increases his blood sugar. Nice.
Yeah.
Did the fireball work, Genescu 7?
I
Test
saw
fireball?
something.
You saw something? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so here we are. Back to the code.
So when last I was on with you, you were building a mechanism for displaying and selecting and perhaps even zooming in on a map for the adventures of said characters from our sort of forthcoming Dungeons and Dragons stream.
Yes, that is correct. What's going on here? I want to see what, I think as I recall, the Alt key was down when I and I want to change this to Alt plus left click. I'll get you up to speed. I'm just in the middle of debugging here, and I do not get in here. And what's my selection type? It's add still. So somehow my selection type is not getting cleared to none. I want to make sure it's happening in clear selection. I wonder if that's a possible problem. Selection.clear. We should definitely be seeing that code there. Oh, look, we're not. Excuse me. Okay, that might solve it. Yeah. Whoops, hold on. Okay, let's run it now. So let's see. We're going to zoom out a little bit. And so here's what we... Whoops. Let's clear this for a second. I'm going to clear my breakpoints for a second. We'll see what our code looks like. So we have the ability to select. Okay? We can shift, hold down the shift key on it. Whoops, let's clear that breakpoint. We can hold down the shift key and add to the selection like this.
That's nice.
Okay? We can hold down the control key and subtract from the selection. Okay?
So is this kind of fog of war style in gaming terms? You've got the whole of the map, and you sort of want to only show a portion of it that the characters have adventured into, and maybe show and reveal pieces at a time?
My intention is to calculate fog of war dynamically as the players move.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is more for selecting an area of the map and then saying, I want this to have green grass, or I want this to be a room, or I want this to be a corridor, or something like that.
So declaring an area of effect, so to
Yes.
speak.
All I want to do is I would just want the ability to select, like, you know, like this, right? To come in and control it, select that sort of thing, to draw the pieces I want to draw, right? Like, what's kind of cool about this is I can create like some irregularly shaped rooms, you know, pretty quickly, right? You're seeing me do this in real time, right? This is what I'm doing. Come in, cut out like some corners here and here, whatever I'm going to do, like that. So something like that. So I can come in and create these things and then say, okay, this is my room, this is my map, whatever. So right now it's just the selection mechanism. There's also, if I hold down the Alt key and I do this, it's a different mechanism that allows me to zoom in. Is it going to work? Ha, it works. Sweet. So we just fixed this, apparently. Let's see. So that's zooming in and out. Clicking outside clears the selection. It's not clearing the selection anymore. Well, why is that? We just lost that feature.
Does it still think you're in selection mode?
It does, apparently. Well, maybe not. Maybe
Sorry,
not.
it thinks you're in zoom mode.
Yeah,
Thus
here's...
can't clear.
Hold on. This is I think this is my problem. This line of code here. If I zoom in like this, we change the selection type. Oh, we take it to none.
I saw some clear putting it to none earlier. And is it that you really want to go back to add? Because that's your default.
I think,
Or
hold
I
on.
misunderstood that.
I think we have a problem here is what I think we have. Yeah, let's zoom out of this a second. I think setting it to none solves one problem but causes another. So if I say, let's zoom into this area. Okay. Let's select. Let's shift select. Let's zoom out. Let's alt down to come in. Let's come out. Clicking outside still does nothing to clear it. But maybe it is clear. Is it clearing it? I guess I'm going to say it's not, because the clicking outside, we need to figure out why is the clearing outside not clearing, because it was a second ago. it's... I'm not understanding this. Why is that not? The code is there. The selection type is none.
Check out the chat room.
What do I got? What's scheduled? Christmas Eve and Boxing Day streams? I don't know.
8 days, people.
Really?
Apparently. I believe Christmas is a week tomorrow.
I don't know.
So, it'll be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day via our usual schedule.
I am probably not going to do it on Christmas Day. While I'd be more than happy to do that, I think that's going to cause some serious trouble. And maybe would you want to just take Christmas off the whole week, Rory?
That could work.
That's Rory's way of saying yes, absolutely. Okay, selection type is set to none. That's my problem. That's why I'm not calling clear selection.
So what's the definition of selection type none? I can see that add is clearly I'm going to add a piece to my existing selection. Of course, if you start with no selection, then you're adding the first piece, then you're adding a second, or what have you. Remove is the inversion of that, the cutting out of pieces from the selection. What does none mean?
None means nothing should be selected, is what I think.
So we're doing a specialized wipe the selection, after which do we set back to add as the default? I guess the question is, what causes the selection type to be set to any given thing?
I think it goes to none here when we go to clear. And we go to clear. This is maybe the problem because I'm calling clear here from selection set, selection committed. And clear selection commit. So commit is when I release the mouse on it.
So is it the case that when you click the mouse down, depending on modifiers, you select the selection type, which will be acted upon when you release the mouse? Is that fair to say? Is that the sort of sequence? So when you click the mouse down, you're analyzing whether there's an Alt or Shift or some other modifier, but you're also checking where you're physically selecting. So if it's outside the bounds, that's when you're going to do the clear the selection.
Yeah, when it's outside the bounds,
The actual clear or add or remove or whatever doesn't actually happen until the release of the mouse. Is that right?
Yeah, I think what I want is something different. So selection.clear. So the problem is I'm calling clear in when I commit and when I cancel. But I think that the problem is it's saying that the selection type is none. What I want is not a test on the selection type. I want something else that basically says if selection.exists and it's not here, I want something because selection is just really a tool for managing the active part, the anchor and the. I want something like this. If selection exists, is what I want, and let's declare this. And I think the only way to tell is come back and say return, or I don't know. I guess it would be more along the lines to say if map.selection exists. That's what I want to do. Let's put it in map. Declare the method, and it's going to look like this. It's going to see if any tile is selected. Excuse me, like that. I think that's going to fix it.
Okay.
Well, I'd say it. I said it, I think it's going to fix it. But clearly, it's not, and now it might. Okay. So here we go. Clicking out. It'll work. It doesn't like it because it's in another. Edit and continue doesn't like it when I add methods to classes that are in another assembly. So we're running again. For any
There's
folks
collusion
joining
in
us,
the chat.
what's happening?
Collusion in the chat room. Will Bennett says,
Uh-oh.
if we work together, we can get Sex Positive mad at inputting. Then we'll get a Christmas stream.
I saw one demo where it was used the Amsterdam map on a Unity hollow table map. That's cool. What is Sex Positive's icon there? Is that a basket? Oh, that's a building on fire. Is that right?
Panic basket is the tooltip, but
Panic
yeah.
basket? Oh, it's a basket on fire? Going to hell in a handbasket?
How is there a distinct icon for the combination of panic basket? Who is out there making all these icons for
There are like
really abstract
loads
concepts?
of them. Okay, so now what's interesting is this isn't good. I'm coming in here and I'm losing my selection piece. Alt gets me in on it. That's good. Clicking outside clears the selection, but now I've lost this. What's happening here? Why am I clearing the selections? Like I'm getting called here when I do this. That's not the case. All right. It's like that's the only line of code.
Looks good.
What'd you say?
So, the code as expressed there looks good. So if you're outside the main range and the selection exists, clear the selection. It reads well. Okay?
I feel like
it's down to the definition of what is clear selection.
I feel like this was the only change we made. Like if I comment this out, the other thing should work. I don't even get this.
Unless some part of the other things are expecting and depending on selection to be cleared, which seems a little weird.
That doesn't make sense to me. Let's look at this again. That works. That works. Really? It's dependent on those two lines of code? They should only happen if we're clicking outside of it.
Wrong. So x is less than 0 or greater than width, and that's less than 0 or greater than height.
Yeah, I don't
That
even
sounds good.
get that.
Any chance we've got the wrong? So you've got a oricont mouse down point. Is that the right parent object to the x and y? Is there
I'm feeling this.
fish?
Yeah, I feel like we already tested this. I'm putting the line of code back in. And we're running again. I'm feeling it's just going to work this time. And it's working now. So there was a state bug we were in, and I'm not sure what caused it. I've got Alt key down, so I want to zoom in on this portion. Zooming out, clicking outside. Oh, that didn't clear the selection entirely. It cleared the one piece, but it didn't. Clicking outside, what?
Do we automatically redraw under all circumstances? Do we update the screen?
Yeah, we should. It's XAML.
Okay.
Content, children remove, the outline. Where's clear selection? Oh, clear selection UI used to be called. Did I delete that? I think I somehow deleted a line of code from here. I think clear selection UI was called from clear selection before, and it's not now? Oh, look at that. I have these two
It's
together.
called in parallel elsewhere. Right, but if we've started to depend on map clear selection, then
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change this to clear selection. Clear selection is gonna call map.clear selection. I'm gonna call it clear selection UI, and I'm gonna run it now. Let's double check this, make sure
Okay.
this is feeling better. Pudding's like, I'm listening, Will Bennett. Yeah, there's definitely collusion in the chat room. All right, here we go. All right, so select.
wow, okay, that was different. All the zeros coming in.
All right, let's undo this a second. Let's look at what we got here.
I wonder if what you just experienced wasn't an incredibly niche bug that is hard to reproduce and is now
All right.
obscuring.
I'm going to keep these right here. I'm going to keep these here because I'm okay with this. But I am going to keep my clear selection UI. I'm going to put it here in clear selection. I'm going to do that. And see if this is the fix. I think this is going to work.
Okay.
Oh, look, I'm floating in the air. Roy, if you ever see me floating, let me know. I've got some scenes that I need to adjust because of the camera. All right, here we go. All right, one more time. Just selecting, shift selecting, clicking outside. There we go. Shift selecting. Uh-oh. Here's our state bug. Here's that one state bug. The second time in, so after clearing the selection. Oh, wait. No, it's because I had. Is it because I'm holding the shift key down? I think that's it. The shift key here should not do anything. If I have no selection, shift key should not do anything here. Shifting and adding. Or should it? It should maybe just add but
See, that's fine. I mean, logically, you're adding to nothing and thus creating the first one, same as if you're doing a normal selection.
yeah, it should work. It should work. So what's weird is it's kind of half working, which I need to kind of understand why is that half working. So let's do this. I want to organize the code a little bit. We've got two things that are similar. I want to put them next to each other. We have the mouse down right here. So I'm going to cut this to the clipboard. Just hit the cut key there. CodeRushed Smart Cut and Copy will select it for me automatically. By the way, check this out. Selection increase. I love this. Look at
I
that.
do like that. That's very nice.
Shows me the top of
proper
the
context of your selection.
yeah, of the selection right there. Let's see. There's that one. I also, wait, that was mouse move that I put down there? I didn't want mouse move. I wanted mouse down. There's mouse down. I want this one. So since I'm going to be working on these, I'm going to put these both near the bottom because I want to kind of look at them both, have them close together. So there's that mouse down. Let's look for the other mouse down. That's it. Selector mouse down. Oh, it does the timer. Evaluate clicks. This is the piece I want down there. So these two are similar right here. And so this is just so let me do a double click because I want to double click to select a corridor or a room. I haven't added that yet, but I want to be able to support a double click. So basically here's the, if click counter is 2 here, select the room or corridor. It's a double click. Okay. So the selection type is add. If selection type is replace, we do clear selection. I think clear selection is kind of what gets us along the way. I almost think that we could fix this with this code here without needing to fully understand what's going on. If we could say no selection map.selection exists. Sorry, I needed the word and right in here. I need and like that. Okay. Or selection type is equal to add and the selection does not exist. I almost feel like this is going to fix it.
So what we do for normal initial creation of stuff is also what we should be doing if we're trying to add but don't have anything yet, which is correct.
Yeah. In other words,
that thing that we do well in one situation, let's do it well in
yeah,
another.
I am comfortable not understanding the bug and fixing it at this level because there's really no downside to fixing it at this level that I can see. I'm not concerned about performance on selection exists because the amount of data we're going to be working with, we're talking about at most tens of thousands of tiles, and we're talking about UI time, which is measured in we get something done in 150 milliseconds. The user can't tell the difference between that and getting it done in 0 milliseconds. So selecting multiple pieces, alt selecting for a zoom in, zooming out manually, clicking outside, and now here's the new selection. Okay, good. Clicking outside, shift. Still the problem. Okay.
Darn.
That's all right. So it's not here then, maybe? I'm going to set a marker here. I'm going to drop a marker on all this code that we just added. And if we fix it, we're going to come back and remove this code and make sure that this is not key. Let's go look for selection to add. What's going on with this? What is going on? Select spaces. It's really only here. Let's look at replace. What's replace doing? Oh, you know what? I think there's another thing that's similar to this. I think it's here. Could that be it? Or here? I think I want to do this. I have a different version of the fix, and I want to do it here. I think it looks like this. If selection type is add and no selection exists, then I'm going to say selection type is equal to replace. That's my new fix.
So not only do we do the same action here as a result, but carrying on later into code, anything else that's currently looking for replace will, under those circumstances, still believe a replace is happening.
Yeah, that's what's going on. And I think that's going to fix it. All right, let's give that a shot. Start, run. I think this has got a real good shot at doing this. I'm so surprised at how quickly we're moving through this, Rory. Getting this functionality. Because we are taking someone else's code and integrating it with ours. Oh, what's that, Rory? Oh, it's a little seed, Rory. It's growing.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Hey, Copperbeardy, glad to have you with us. Tesla RX is out there. Tesla RX. Good to meet you. Well met, as they say in the D&D world. All right, so there's my selection. There's my selection. I'm just shift clicking to get my selections. Alt clicking to zoom in on a particular area. Control clicking to cut holes. Zooming out. Clicking outside, they go away. Now shift clicking, this is the problems, and it works. Sweet. And now we fixed it. Sweet. Nice. I want to make a notice as we zoom in, see the gaps between the lines, Rory?
Yep.
I want to fix this.
Okay.
Also, watch this. If I do this, look at this guy. See the bottom right lines of this guy right here?
Yeah.
I think I can zoom in on this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this. Here we go.
Bit of an off by at least one.
Yeah. I want the center to be aligned right with the center of this. So that's my UI right there. What'd you say?
It's a little bit more than off by one then.
Yeah. It's off by the width of the line thickness for that. Let's go fix that first. And then I want to fix these. I want to fix these things too. These lines also similarly need to start the line thickness. They need to subtract the line thickness and extend the line thickness cut in half.
Yep.
So those two, we'll fix both of those. So we have like a really perfect UI when zoomed in. Okay, first one is those black and white lines. The black and white lines, how do I do that? I'm totally forgetting that. It's like last Thursday when we wrote this code. It's inside of the selection object. So let's go find that selection object. And I think this is where this is basically the current rubber banding thing we're doing. And create section outline, selection outline. Okay. Here's part of it where we're adding, this is where we're adding the individual pieces right here. So the line thickness on this, what, am I specifying my line thickness on here anywhere? Add geometry, get pixel coordinates. Stroke thickness is 10. Okay, let's kill this. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna call this, let's declare this as a constant. And we're gonna call this selection outline, selection outline. Like that. And I am going to maybe make this type of double. And so let's do that. And then here, when we add a horizontal line, let's actually go back up here. Then we're going to say here double, hold on. Bear with me, Rory. It'll all be clear in a second.
Fair enough.
All right. We'll rename this to selection line thickness, and then I'm going to come down here, say that divided by 2. Because that's what I really need. I don't need to calculate it every single time.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, down here, I want to say this is equal to left minus this, and this one is equal to right plus that.
Yep. So we're distributing
Whoops.
the whole into 2 different locations.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's obvious that we're doing it so the readability is much better.
Okay, good. I'll take that. And then for vertical line, we're going to do the same thing, but we're manipulating the top and the bottom. Okay? So this is going to solve the blue line problem. Let's look at that. We still have to solve the black and white problem. But the blue line should all now look way better and not have the gaps between them when we zoom in. Okay? So if we zoom out, we weren't seeing the problem at all, but when we zoomed in, we were seeing it. And now we do not.
That is much nicer.
Sweet. I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
really nice. Okay, cool. That's our selection.
Clean lines. Nothing distracting about it. It's good.
I like this, by the way, because this is like, I've never really worked in an environment that allowed you to do multi-selection really in a two-dimensional space. There might be apps that do this, but I feel like our implementation of this right now, and this is only after, this is after like, we've been working on this for 4 shows now. So it's after about like 8 hours to 12 hours worth of work. And it's pretty high end, I would argue. Oh, you know what else I added? I didn't show you this. But if I hold the space bar down, oh man, we lost our selection. Hold on, I got to get rid of the selection, I think. Space bar down and dragging. Oh, we lost that feature. Hold on. I got to get that back. That's going to be...
Like a grip the map and move it kind of thing.
Yeah. We got to make sure that the space bar is not down. So hold on. Let's do this right here. Yeah, to grab the map and move it. And I want to say... Come on, undo. Whoops. Redo. And not keys dot... Is it keys or key dot down? Isn't there something like a down? Use key down. I just used this. No, it's not that. What is it? Keyboard. sorry, keyboard dot is key down. There we go. And then we're going to say key dot spaces, dot space, I mean. So if the space bar is not down, then we're going to go in and do stuff. That's what we're going to do. Okay? So, boom.
Not to step too much on that, because it'd be nice to have it work as it does, but I've seen a lot of apps do that with a change of which mouse button is being used. So you use your left click to interact, create selections and what have you, but maybe a right click or a middle mouse to do the panning around of the surface you're working on.
Yeah, I'm going with space for now. I've seen it in other apps and I really like it. So now I've got it back. I've got it. So now if the space bar is down, I can click and drag and move it around. Nice. Like that. I love it. Yeah, it's super cool. So I've got clicking and dragging to move around. What was was there another problem we saw, or was that the problem we saw and we just fixed it?
I think there were a couple of different things at the same time, but they're all kind of related. So it may be that we've got them all solved now.
Yeah.
Because there was a situation where you did your selections, then you did some zooming, and then you cleared it and tried to do some selections again, and you only got the graying out of the exterior. Sorry, no, you didn't get the graying out of the exterior, but you did get the selection. It was kind of weird. But I think that looks good.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we're pretty good. All right, we do need to do this. This problem we need to solve because that is zoomed in. I'm sorry, not that problem. I gotta hit. It's this problem at zoomed in. Here, let me zoom in so you can see it. It's these lines are not in the right spots.
Misaligned, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, we got to get those in the right spots. The upper left, I'm good with. I think. Let's double check that. Well, even the upper left. So this is essentially essentially. I want to move both of them.
Should be on the exterior of the selection, and the white should be on the interior.
Yes, that's what I agree with that. So that's what we want to do. So let's do that. Let's see. Can I just search for black in here? There it is. Build rubber band selector. Rubber band fill. And where do I set? Here they are, right here.
Hugo is in the house.
Hello, Hugo.
Hi, Hugo. Okay, so we need something like this. We need, I think we're running, so I got to get to a break point. All right, so we need to do two things. We need to do a, let's say half border thickness. Or actually, we don't need that because...
Is that the same values we had before?
Huh?
Or not? Well,
no, this is different.
Created.
No, border thickness is something else. And so we're set to 4 on this one right here. So it's whatever. This is, look at this comment to myself. Move this to a UI space, buddy. Come on. Come on. I got a kid nearby the desk. You need anything, buddy? Good? All right. Kids are out of school.
It's that time of year.
Always surprised that Mark doesn't seem startled. To get startled one bit when it fires. Got a heart attack from that notification. I wonder if the volume's too loud on that. The audio's too loud on that. That might be the case. Let's go look at that. I've got Hugo Doll. Let me turn the volume down on it a little bit. I'm going to drop that down a bit and see if that how that is. Here it is again, kids.
Hugo is in the house.
I love trash. Oh no! What happened? Groversaurus is here. Can you tell me how to get Sesame Street? Ask Groversaurus. Hey, Groversaurus. You practice. By the way, Groversaurus. Oh, never mind. I'll tell you later. Magus is out here. Magges. Magus. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So border thickness is out here.
just caught the stream, which for me is quite delayed, and I saw the two scenes go past, Grovosaurus and indeed Hugo's welcome again.
Yeah.
They're both very much louder than your voice on the
Oh,
stream.
they are. All right, we'll drop it
Yeah.
down even more. Grovosaurus is here. Let's drop that that sound down, and give me 1 second. I'm just gonna go. I have to do it, kids. I'm gonna click on Hugo Doll. Brace yourselves for a second, and we're gonna drop his sound down. No, you know what? Just send me an email, Rory, and I'll get it. I'll drop it down later. Okay. So, all right. So now I've got the margin here. This is the border thickness. I need though this. I've got my outside selector and my inside selector, my fill selector. I need to take this. The outside selector needs to go minus the margin on the left, and this one goes away. The top up here goes minus the margin as well, and this one goes away here. Okay, the width and height have to add. I think it's either going to be 2 or 3 times. It might even be 3 times the margin. I think it's 3 times the margin is what I think it is.
Okay.
Because I think 2 times is going to get it on the inside. We'll try it. And then down here, this is the inside selector. This one is going in, and its width.
Surly Dad is in the house.
Hey folks, just had here for 2 minutes before realizing I was watching a VOD from 2 weeks ago. Why does Will Bennett say he's invisible? We saw him together here. Surly, buddy, guess who is fasting right now for essentially intentionally for the first time in his life, not by doctor's orders. I decided this morning I'm not going to eat any food. And I don't know what to do with my life, Surly. What do you do when you're not eating food? All I do is just pour food into my body all day long.
It is a great thing to do to relieve or distract from, not doing anything. So yeah, if you're not putting food in,
I am putting food like
have
crazy.
All the spare time.
Yeah, I'm fasting. Normally I'm throwing food in my body. Yesterday I was like, I think I might fast today. And I walked by some almonds, and next thing I knew, I was like, I'd broken my fast. And I'd fasted yesterday for a total of about, from the moment of the decision to realizing, oops, I'm not fasting anymore, was probably about 4 minutes. So I fasted for 4 minutes yesterday. Today I essentially haven't eaten since last night. So walked to the fridge, opened the door, say, no, I'm not fasting. No, I'm fasting. Close the fridge door.
Inside of the fridge.
Walk away muttering.
Go away, you are fasting.
Well, then it says, I must have been standing behind Fred. He's tall. Yeah. Let's go get Fred back. Whoops. Whoops. Sorry, kids. All right. There we go. Fred's back. Okay. So we're doing the math on this. See if we can figure this out. The width of the selector size from the inside, I think it's the margin. I don't think we're subtracting from it anymore. And then we're going to fill as well. And I think that might work. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It might be a mess. It looks like it's slightly a mess. Looks like that, my guess at the... how are we doing here? Where are we? We're not bad. Our problem is just in the ×3. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. That thing where I said 3 times, Rory?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what I was
a little
talking
excessive.
about. Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy talk. All right. Whoops. Let's run it now. Sweet. That looks really nice. Look at that. Is that working? Is it right on the other side? Oh, wait. No, it's still inside. Oh, no.
Well, go one more to the right, because you can see it overlapping in the blue at the top. The top right corner. Looks like it's dipping in just about.
Wait.
So that could be...
Oh, no.
Maybe.
What's going on? Why is it more here and not here? Is it that our... it's because the size of our Oh yeah, you're right. Right there it looks pretty good, but here it does not. What is going on?
So the vertical overlap, not. Hang on. What?
Is it every other one it's right? In other words, here it feels wrong. There it's right. There's wrong.
Well,
I'm
when
looking
the
at
black when the black dips into a black tile, you can't tell. You need the black to dip into a tile that isn't black.
Hold on. Yeah, I can see. So here this is right. That's right here. I can see. Is it dripping down? I've got to really zoom in here. That looks
It's
right.
not
That looks right to me. You can see this right over there. That I think is right to me.
Sure.
But the center of it is not actually lined up with the center of the element.
The left to right is wrong there. Bottom right
What's-
of your current selection, the black does not exit the blue, if that makes any sense. It doesn't go far right enough.
It's overlapping it a little bit. I guess when I'm at a point where I'm actually at a point where I'm like, okay, I could ship this.
Well, the truth is that who's going to be zoomed in this much and then checking that out?
Well, I'll tell you the answer to the question. It's me because I'm writing the app for me. And so that's it. Nobody else is.
There you go.
I'm not writing the app for anybody else. So at this point, I'm like, okay, not bad. Really not
The
bad.
overall effect is very nice.
Yeah, we can now come in here and do this. I don't have room selection yet. So now, wait, I double clicked it and it seemed to scroll, is what it seemed to do. Oh, that's because there's a double click feature of the thing that moves it to the center. I don't want that feature. Let's go kill that feature. Do I have a double click event handler on this? There it is right there. Animated snap to. Wait, that's if the shift key is down. Oh no, and the shift key is not down. Got it. I don't want that at all. We're going to kill that. Let's just clean it up entirely. We're going to delete it. However, maybe I have a crazy idea.
Okay.
You've been here before, Lori.
What, at the moment where you say you've got a crazy idea?
You know where I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. The crazy idea. Here's my crazy idea. My crazy idea is I wasn't going to do this show because I was thinking, oh, it's going to be a little tricky because I got to wrap my head around how to do this. But I just noticed this animated snap to moves this point to the center. Let's see what the timing is on this animated snap to. Start animation, animation duration. Where's it set? Not set? Well, maybe it's got a default value. 0.4 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. So in about half a second, it animates in. All right, so here it goes. Hold on. Where's the... let's run this. So let me first tell you what I'm going to do. And then you're going to be like, yeah, that's crazy, man. You might just get the smoke started, by the way, when I started the spontaneous combustion story. All right, here's the deal. If I'm out over here and I double click this, it tries to scroll it towards the center.
Okay.
Okay? What I want to do is this is crazy, but I want to do it, as I zoom in to that piece, so watch what happens. I'm here over this mouse, over this upper right blue, right up here. As I zoom in, it gets out from under the mouse, and it moves off to the side. And it does this, and it does
You
this.
want to keep the cell that's under the mouse.
Kind of.
Possibly move it to the center. Because
And
this
then-
is your focal point.
I want to move it to the center, yeah. If I come in if I come in, I want to be like, let's move this to the center as much as we can. I want to kind
If
of
you
like
move it to the center without adjusting the position of the mouse as well, your next zoom in will actually move it a different cell closer to the center.
So I want to move the mouse is what I want to do as well.
Yeah.
I want to do both of those things. So the first thing I want to do is I want, so I guess part of the crazy idea one, part one of my crazy idea is, where's my mouse wheel? Let's go look for that. Right here. Okay. So mouse wheel, part one is going to look like this. This is going to get erratic and crazy. Well, I'm already getting the position. So that goes there, and this goes here. Now that's going to cause some problems. But let's see it. Let's clear the breakpoint and just see how it feels. Okay, so I'm going to mouse wheel in on this corner piece right here. Okay. Yeah, so it's not exactly what I want to do. What I want to do, so I'm going to mouse wheel in this piece right over here. So I could do that in one, just for the smallest piece. But the way the spec works, this is when I say the spec, this is the spec I derived in a thought experiment about 5 years ago on how to do zooming correctly. The way the spec works is as we wheel in, we move the mouse fractionally towards the center of the screen and, a bit at a time. So if this is my center of the screen and this is my zoom point and I go in with the mouse, I want to go in a fraction of the distance between here and here is what I want to do. So I don't want to go in all the way. So if I'm here, the way we can fake that is we can grab a line from the center of the screen to here and get a fraction of it, and that fraction is the piece we want to zoom into the center. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So we want to zoom that. The other thing we want to do is we want to find out what the mouse is over. Then as we zoom, as we're moving, find out where that piece is in screen coordinates and then move the mouse and track it with it. Those are the two things we want to do. It's a little crazy. I'm not sure I have the skill set to do this, Rory. It's a good thing you're here. When do you leave? You're leaving like in a minute, right?
I can probably stretch another half hour.
You want to do that, or should we do this tomorrow?
Well, whatever suits you. I can stay for a bit longer if you want.
All right, let's give it a shot and see how much trouble we get ourselves into. This is like
So
potentially a lot of trouble.
What fraction are you imagining that we should do? Because I feel like it maybe should be tied to the degree of how violently you wheel mouse in.
I agree. There should be some tweaking there to adjust that. Similarly, look what happens when we zoom out. Now, when we zoom out, I actually don't want it to happen when we zoom out. For zooming out, there's another set of logic here. So I want to not do it. So I'm going to set a breakpoint here, and we're going to clear that logic for the zoom out, and we're not doing that here. Okay? So let's at least. So now zooming out, and let's see. If we zoom in a lot, and we right here and we zoom out, it should stay right under that until we start losing the borders, and then we kind of lose it. When we lose the borders and we move it, I want to move the mouse with it though, I think. Like here, here, here. When that moves, I want to move it. So we need to check to see is, do we have I haven't looked at this yet, but does our zoom and pan control have the ability to convert positions? Oh, that's not the one I wanted to go to. I want to go to this one. I think it does. Let's go see what its conversion stuff is. I haven't looked at the code here yet on this. I wonder, will this guy help us? This guy might help us. Who's out there? AJ2017. I'm going to just dock everybody for a second. Whoever's flying is you guys are going to lose your machines for a second. I just want to be able to see off to the side. You can fly them again. No worries. I just want to come over here. see what we got. I'm feeling like we should see some functions in there. Wait, hold on here. Animated snap to, animated zoom to, on scale to fit, zoom to bound point. There's no conversion in here. I feel like we're looking for methods that convert from one point to another. Well, we do have zoom about point. Well, let's look at content offset X. Where is it used? Okay, I feel like we're looking, we need to add some functions in here.
Maybe so.
What's going on with this code?
That's a little weird. Is that a property that's expecting a side effect as a result of setting it? Bit of a hack.
Well, it does say update content offset from itself when the size of the viewport changes. This ensures that the content offset property remains properly clamped to its valid range. Oh, because I bet content offset property has got event handlers. Yeah, it's got a coerce event handler on it. And so this code is going to be called right here to make sure it's in the right, it's clamped to the right value. That's what's going on there. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to put a comment here. Checks out. Code's okay. Update translation X. So the content offset X and Y are the offsets of the upper left corner of the where the viewport is showing the data. That's what's going on here. And I think that after looking at this, I'm going to wait, hold on. Let's look at horizontal offset just for a second. Not used anywhere. Okay, that's just for the scroll bar. Okay. Okay. All right, hold on. Okay, I'm going to make one minor refactoring here. I think I'm not going to go down this path, Rory.
No?
No, I don't think I am going to. Let's declare constant here. We're going to call this the line size, like this. Let's make sure it only appeared in those three places. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just declared a constant, and CodeRushed did not. Did not declare it anywhere, or everywhere, I mean. Am I in edit and continue, or no? No, it doesn't look like it. So it would say continue here, right? Yeah. So what is going on there? Why didn't it replace all of those 10s? I'm going to call it a bug. What's going on? Let's report the bug. All right. All right, kids, CodeRushed does not appear to be declaring constants, grabbing them everywhere. Notice I've got in this code base, I've got divided by 10 showing up in several places here in the code. I'm going to choose declare constant here. Go ahead and now I'm going to hit tab to next reference, and it didn't grab these. Is this because they're 10 and not like 10.0? I wonder if that's our own logic that maybe I even spec'd out. Let's come back here and make this 10.0. Make it, in other words, it may be such a common constant that we're like, no, we're not going to grab this everywhere. Because I think that may be a spec piece I put in here. Nope. It did not grab the others. What's going on, kids? I thought we did this. I know we were doing this in Classic. Why isn't that working? So declare constant isn't grabbing all of those like it should. Let's compare that with, look at that. Visual Studio gets it right. Come on, guys. Fix that. All right. Let me, that's my bug report. Let me get the end of the bug in there. Declare constant. That's it right there. So the kids will get that. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Exception attaching log file. What's my log file? Access the file logs because used by another process. That's okay. That happens sometimes. I have multiple instances of Visual Studio up. Why do we keep hitting here, though, is my question. Why do we keep coming in here? Okay, multiple log files we're trying to attach, I think. Okay. What's your mini-map thing? Is that something real? I don't think I've got a mini-map in here, Genescu 7, do I? Is somebody hacking my system? Okay. All right, so this is, anyway, we're going to come back in here. We're going to call this is going to be our line size. So that's going to be for line up and line up, line left. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to write it, Rory, because I was expecting to see kind of like, you know, world to content or view to content translation functions in here to make it easy. And because it's sprinkled through the code, it's going to take some time to wrap my head around those. And it's got a higher risk of breaking code. And I don't want to break the code. Fred, you look like you're thinking. Would you? Sorry. Well. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
Well, so you know, don't want to risk too much.
Yeah, I don't want to risk too much. So that also means I'm going to take my my mouse wheel piece that we just added, and I'm going to back out of that crazy idea. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get rid of this for now. Or I could say, well, if your mouse wheeling and the shift key is down, we'll bring it to the center. I could do that. I don't like it. I'm going to just, maybe I do like it. If shift key down, then we'll do that. Let's try that. Makar is now following. Thanks for that follow, Makar. All right.
Does that also mean that we should be moving the mouse pointer to the center?
Oh yeah, I suppose so. Might as well do that. So if I do this, shift down, we need to kind of move that. The problem with moving it is what I want is a way to say, okay, I'm gonna throw a marker down there on the content. Then I want another way to say, where's that marker now on the screen? Right? Where is that piece on the screen? That's what I want. And I don't see a method in there to do that. That's what I was hoping to find, but I didn't find that. So that's going to take some work, and I'll add that later. So yeah, I think you're right. We're not going to do that too much. Okay, next thing, double click. I want to double click. How much time do I have with you? I got 12 minutes. Let's see if we can make this work, Rory. I want to double click to select a room. So if I'm in a room like this and I double...
Flood select.
What'd you say?
Flood select, almost.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
It's
point and keep going till you find walls or a corridor.
Yeah, it's a fill select is what I want to add here. So it comes in and it does that when I double click anywhere in the room. That's the challenge. Can we do it in 13 minutes? I don't know if we can do it or not. So let's look at that. That's our double click. That's going to be over in this space. How do we get the thing underneath it? The base tile is here. So that tile is already there. It's going to tell us what that tile is. We've got a not null on there. So we basically want to come in and we want to say, I guess we can do this. We'll set a breakpoint here. We're going to come in here and we're going to say double click. And then we're going to say flood select instead of flood fill. Right? Exciting, isn't it, Rory?
Oh, it is.
It's like we're practically done. There it is, based on the base tile. So that means we need to, hold on. I want to do something here. Hold on. All right. All right. Speaking of hacking your system, I have a couple of PRs I want to do for Mr. Announcer Bot. Okay, Sully Dab. All right. I want this into its own function right there. That's going to be called get selection type. You know, the old CodeRushed used to name this for me really well, as I recall. Like that. It used to be smart about these things, I think. No, I don't want to stop debugging. I hit a keystroke I don't want to. Okay, so there's my selection type. Then, fine, flood select base tile, the base space. We're going to now the selection type is going to impact what we're going to do. We should be able to shift double click on rooms to add them to the selection, or control double click to remove them. Right?
Okay.
Is what we need to do. Feels really good. I don't know what to do now, though, Rory. You know?
Well, your selections are still rectangular in nature, right? So how would you want this to be?
Whoops, hold on.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Mr. Announcebot had to jump in on that. What did you ask me, Rory? I'm sorry.
I'm curious how optimal you want this to be, because this, I mean, if you think about the maximum number of selections you could conceivably have, it's pretty much width times height of the whole map, right? Individually, so every cell gets its own selection.
Sure.
So are you intending to do that on a per room basis, or do you want to be slightly more optimal, so you know you can get one large rectangle to grab most of the room and then have other ones to grab just the periphery cells?
Wait, I think no, I'm gonna grab everything. Oh wow, look at that. Why did that happen? That was not supposed to happen. Okay, I want to get. Well, here's what I want to do. I think we can do this. I think it's not hard. I just have to remind myself, how are we selecting when I drag the mouse and I do the mouse up? Let's go look at this up. Here, let's see, mouse up. Zoom and pan control, not the one I wanted. I want canvas map mouse up. If not, content.release mouse. Selection.commit. Let's look at this. On selection committed. That's going to circle us back around, so we're down low level, but we're going to get to here, and here's where we commit the selection. So selection, wait. Where's my commit? This is where I clear the UI. I make the rubber band hidden. Show selection. What's this show selection? Show selection is actually where I select the spaces based on
I had not seen this before.
tiles in pixel rect.
So your selections are just lists of tiles.
Yeah, I'm asking basically get tiles in the pixel rect, get them outside, and then I'm selecting them yes or no based on this rect right here. So select spaces are here and
Right.
here.
I had this strange idea that if you had, let's say, a 5x5 room, and you selected a 3x5 vertically, and then another 3x5 horizontally, you'd effectively be not selecting the 4 corner squares. And I assumed that you'd be doing that by storing the 2 rectangles, when in fact you're actually storing the 21 individual cells.
Yeah, I'm like storing each.
Brilliant. That makes this a lot easier.
I know. I think it's just. I think I just have to call select spaces and tell it what spaces to.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be so easy.
You can explore out from a single point, saying find everything around me, and select those, and add them to the next call. I.e., they'll select everything around them, and they'll select everything around them, presuming it's not a wall.
I think this is going to work like this. I think base space has a parent, which is going to be the room, or it's going to be the region. Which is parent? Selector panel? No. Oh, come on. I thought the tile had its room. Its region.
Because if the tile does have its room, then you can go find all tiles that have that as...
And the room has all of its tiles. Yeah. The tile does not seem to have a room. Let's see where its constructor is. Floor space. Oh, floor space has a parent. That's okay. So we're cool. So we're going to do this. If base space is floor space, actually I'm going to select that, and let's do a not, and if what? Why isn't selection embedding working for me? Is it because my code is not compiling here? I've got some code down here that's... Is that my possibility? That doesn't make sense. I thought selection embedding worked no matter what. Huh. Guess it's compilable. It needs to compile. Okay. Or at least get something close to it. If it's not floor space, and then we're going to call this floor space here, then we're going to get out of here. Now, floor space can be in a corridor or a room. Okay. Then we're going to say floor space.parent. Nice. Dot. And then what? Got it. Spaces. So that's what we're going to pass in to select spaces. Oh, like that. And now the question is, should we select or not? So it's basically if selection...
Pass that in from higher again, and that'll be based on whether we have control or shift.
Yeah, no, it's in get selection type, which is...
Okay, cool.
Yeah, which is going to be basically checking the modifiers right there. And so we're going to say, and actually, to be fair, I think I really want to pass this in. That's what I want to do. It looks like I got to get at least a semicolon out here for tabbed index reference to work. Let's just pass in true for now for a second. We're going to come back. I want to come out here and I want to add a new parameter to this. And I want to pass in the get selection type. I want to do this because I might want to do testing or call this from another location with something different.
Yep.
So I want to do that. Looks like my add parameter. Hold on, let's try this one more time. Add parameter. That's what I want to send in. Selection type. What'd you say, Rory?
I wasn't sure the selection type was available in and of itself, but obviously it is. So
it is. Yeah, we're good. We're totally good on that. Okay, so now we want to select if selection type. We want that to be true if selection type is equal to add or replace. Or we can do this. We can say if it's not equal to remove. And we can do this too. We can say, hey, if selection type is equal to selection type dot none, then we can get out of here. Okay? And so now, what's the problem here? We don't know floor space? Wait. It's a list of floor spaces to a list of tiles. Oh, I forget how to get this to tiles here. How do I convert a generic list of one type to another? Do you remember, Rory?
Well, I from list and then individually convert this. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, there's a link way to do this.
Is it a select?
Yeah, that might be it. But I just haven't done this enough, so I'm not remembering it. List C# type. I'm going to add the word type in there too. Type conversion for generic lists. That's what I'm looking for. Wait, what? Am I not understanding this? Cast. Or is that? Wait, go ahead. What do you want?
Well, the middle one there is an argument about how sometimes it's not possible.
Yeah, okay, fine. Maybe I get the wrong one here. Solve how to convert. I am so not trustworthy of solved, although it is code project. Yeah, I've clicked on that like so many times. Oh, come on, guys. I'm just looking for a fast link expression here. Here we go. There it is. There's the one I want to click. I think this is going to do it. Please look at the following questions. Casting generic list. Covariance, contravariance will be supported 4.0.
Does it convert all? That's interesting.
Convert all. All right, let's try convert all. Whoops. Convert all. And what do I need to do? I need to do something like x as the ancestor. Wait, this is taking in a list of tiles. Yeah, as a tile. Like that. Is that sufficient? Is that sufficient? Is that sufficient? It looks sufficient. Okay, wow. All right, that's what I was looking to. Will Bennett's like, what are you trying to do? Will, I'm just, yeah, I know. Will's always there with the answer. He's got it. Okay, so I think that's my flood select. I don't know. We want to try it, Rory?
Hey, give it a go. It can only work or fail.
Oh, you know what we're not doing, though? We're not showing the selection afterwards.
That would be worth doing.
It would be worth doing. Let's set a breakpoint here. Let's go find where we call select spaces afterwards. Create selection outline. We at least need to do that. Okay. And let's do it. So here we go. This is it. We're trying to do a flood fill select. So if I double click here, okay, we want to get into flood select. I want to add at least this line of code here. And let's clear our breakpoint. Let's see what we got. Let's see what's happening. Not working? Sad. All right, let's see what's going on. Here we go. Double click here. Okay. How many spaces? We got spaces. There are 59 spaces in there.
That's a good count.
Selection.
That sounds positive.
Selection type is not equal to remove, so we're going to, so in those spaces, we're going to go in all of those and we're going to come in and we'll double check it here. But we should come in. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's the selection type? Is none? That's my problem. No, it was something different. We weren't setting the selection type to that piece. We need, because here, if we look at what's going on here, get selection type, where it's called here, when we call start selection, it sets the selection type to that type. We're not setting that, so we need to fix that. That's our problem. At least that'll get us closer, I think, to this thing. So we're going to come down here and we want to say selection.selection type is equal to selection type, like that. with a lowercase s right there. Let's see what we get now. Double click. I really want this to work. Oh, it worked. Double click. Okay, but it's not graying out everything else. So we need to figure that part out. So let's go figure out why are we not create selection outline is happening here. What is happening? Clear selection UI. Select spaces, tiles outside pixel rect. Get tiles outside pixel rect. It's really getting those outside. I was thinking maybe it was if it was selected, it wasn't doing something. So how is it knowing not to kill the other selections? That's the thing I'm not understanding. Oh, it's because of this code here. And this code here, depending on whether we're doing an add or remove. So what we need to do is find all the other tiles and call false on them, I think is what I want to do. Okay, so let's go. I think I need... I hear Karen singing downstairs. She's singing a song that has the words like, I'm so hungry, or something along those lines. It's not helping my fasting, honey. Okay, I think we're close. How much time do we have? We're out of time, Rory. You've got to go.
I am pretty close, yeah.
I think we're close.
But I gotta say, I like the selection. I mean, it does select. Not all you're looking for is the de-emphasis on the stuff you're not selecting.
Yeah, I think it's going to look like this. This is not going to be the most efficient code, I think, but I think it's going to look like this. We're going to come in here. Let's double click. I'll shift select on this. And then I want to say, I want something that says, I want a line of code here that's like map dot get all other spaces. And it's going to pass in the spaces. And then we're going to say this is equal to remove. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then we're going to define this. I think this is going to do it. So this is going to give me all the other ones.
But is your spaces cumulative? So if you flood select the first room, and then that'll work. It'll de-emphasize everything else. But then you flood select the second room. Will you get the sum total of both rooms from which to derive those that should be de-emphasized? Yeah,
I think the answer is going to be yes, and because of the way if we held the control key down, if we're adding, then we will we'll do something to it. We'll mark it as selected or not. I think it'll work is what I think, but that's what I'm going to try next. So if you have to say goodbye, Rory, I will say goodbye to you and say thank you for being here.
I am going to head at this point.
You're the best, Rory. You're the best.
And
nobody
so nice
doubts that. Okay.
Fair enough. I will see you all tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
All right. So what do we got here? Spaces. I don't want to work with that. So we're going to call this the results. This. And then for each tile, base space and spaces, do if spaces dot index of base space is greater than or is less than 0, then we're going to say results dot add. I have a gut hunch that this is going to work. And I think that's it. And then it's just going to be return results. And I want to rename spaces. And so this is going to invert whatever you pass into it. And I think that might work. I think it might work. Let's try it. Let's run it, see what happens. And if not, it's like back to the drawing board. Definitely not working. There's my double click. Oh, interesting. That's weird. Let's run again. Weird that my edit and continue worked, but then that didn't. All right. Double click. It worked. Shift double click. Worked. Sweet. Look at that, kids. A flood select. I can double click anywhere in there. Let's double click in the corridor. Sweet. Shift double click here. Nice. Shift double click here. That works. Shift double click. I can select corridors now. Sweet. Shift double click. Yep, that worked. Corridors and rooms. Nice. I can't shift double click in the empty space because there's nothing there. But I do like this. That's it. Rory missed it. We weren't that far away. The double click is still scrolling, I think it looks like. It's scrolling into view. I thought I disabled that feature. Let's go look at the double click. Oh, I didn't take it out. Okay, so let's double click again. And we're going to get rid of that. And let's run it. And now we don't have the scrolling anymore. Sweet. There's a slight performance. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. So when I say 2, it's the second click. 1, 2. Slight performance issue. It's like slow by about 300, 400 milliseconds. But I think I'm not going to worry about it because this is only in the map setup. This is only when we want to define and create the map. And it is not... yeah. That's cool. Let's do one last thing for fun. I want to support a triple click. Which I think I can do without too much work. Set a breakpoint here. And let's run it. Let's see if I can get a triple click. Sweet. So now I think I want something that's like this. Flood select all. And this I want to now either grab all rooms or all corridors. Is what I want to do with a triple click. And if base space is... Actually, I just copy this code right here. Grab both of these lines because those are totally suitable for here. Now we have floor space. The floor space dot parent is a room. Then we want to select all rooms. I just realized, hold on, I want to run this a second because I want to realize there's a I didn't check to see. So if I shift double click the room here, that's good. But I didn't check control double clicking to make sure it got rid of it. So I control double click this corridor. Oh, that's not good. It keeps only it. That's not good. Dang. Um, I think I need to do something else with select spaces here. I need this right here. I think. Is that true? That doesn't help me in the scenario where I'm removing elements. I don't understand why the remove. The logic feels like it should work for remove. Let's go after that bug before we create the flood select all. So double click, shift double click. No, that doesn't work well at all. Oh wait, hold on. This code's in the wrong spot. This needs to go above it. Okay. Clear it, run it. Okay. Now control double click. Yeah, that's the wrong one. It's almost as if I need to swap these around if I'm doing a remove. Yeah, this code looks good to me. I'm not quite following this here. Yeah. It's almost as if I just flat out, oh, you know what I think it is? I think I got the answer. Hold on. I think the answer is simply this. And I bet, yeah, I bet if we go look at select spaces, yeah, it's the same thing. Those that are in, we do true, and those that are out, we do false. So it's my corruption of that idea that I think led to this problem. All right, so now I bet it works. So shift, double click, double click, double click. Now let's remove this room only. There we go. Now I can remove just those rooms. All right, back on track. Now let's allow a triple click. to get us to select all. So every single room or parent, we're going to do that. There's my triple click. If it's a room, we're going to be here. There we are. And now I think I want map.get all room tiles, like that. And let's go declare that. Well, I want to see. I want to kill it. I'm going to break it because I want to rename spaces to tiles. Now I'm going to run it. Oh, let's fix this. Root to function. Get all room tiles. Come over here. Declare local for that. And then we want to say. All right, so there's that. For some reason, I don't think this code made a difference. Let's just run this and see what we get. Spaces and tiles are compatible. The floor space is a descendant of tile. Sorry, well, it looks like I missed that from a while ago. Room item and items, select, convert item. Yeah. Of type tile, I love that. Let's go fix that. Let's do that afterwards. Thanks, Will.
Bill Bennett rocks.
No, it's all right. We're not going to do that now. Okay, so double click. Yeah, double click. Yeah, it does. It's clearing the selection and bringing just that. So that part's good. Looks like, did I lose? Looks like I refreshed everything by clicking on that wrong thing. Okay, we'll get the music going in a second. And now if I triple click on it, all the rooms are selected. Ooh, but we lose the outlines on everything here because we don't have this line of code right here. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint here. And let's do a triple click again. Whoops, that was a double click. Triple click. Now let's change this up a little bit. Let's do something like this. Let's use CodeRushed to split initialization from declaration. Pop that there. And I'm going to call this all region tiles. So I've got this class called region, which is an ancestor to both room and corridor. And then I want to come down here and say else if floor space.parent is a region. Like that. Then we want to call get all region tiles. Oh no, not region. I want it to be is it a corridor? Like that. and else we want to exit. Return, like that. And so then down here, I want to take my select spaces. And while we're in there, let's rename this to tiles. Like that. And then after doing that, I want to call create selection outline. But let's do this. Since we're doing this combo everywhere, let's create a new piece here. That does this. We're going to, I think, let's do an extract method here. I'm going to call it select all tiles, like this. And let's see, can we get music on? It looks like the drone game didn't fully refresh. Sometimes it kind of needs a second refresh on it to get it to go faster. Same thing with the Dragonfront overlay. What else? My 3D dice. That one looks okay. All right. Dragon back overlay. Yep, that's working. I think. Let's refresh it. Yeah, sometimes it's like I get a little break in signal R, I think. Okay, so now select all tiles. Let's set this equal to null. And what I want to do is I want to say, hey, if that's null, then I want to say that's equal to map.get other tiles, right? Get all other spaces. We're going to rename that to get all other tiles in a second. And pass it the tiles inside the pixel rect. Okay? And let's rename these while we're at it. Tiles to select. And these are going to be tiles not selected, like that. And that's going to do it for us. Select all tiles. So now, when we go to those other places, down here we're going to just simply say select all tiles and pass in room tiles to it. And kill all of that. And do the same thing down here. Select all tiles, all region tiles, and let's go declare get all corridor tiles, which is going to come in right next to this. So we'll use selection increase, shift enter to duplicate it, paste, and is corridor. And I could do this too. Let's do this as a no, it's not where, isn't it? It's like a :T is something like that. What is it? Is it where? I'm not even remembering this now. I want to specify this as a particular type, as a region, map region, which I think is a parent of that. No, it's colon, isn't it? It's colon, but I think, or wait, is it where T : map region? Totally forgetting how to do this. Generic method C#. Okay, let's see if music is playing now. There we go. It's where T : the type. Didn't I do that? What is wrong with what I'm doing here? Oh, it's after. Is that right? It's before the parens. That's where it is. Okay. All right, get all rooms. Routines of type. There. So we're going to do that. Maybe we'll call this get all tiles instead of get all room tiles. Fine. Okay. I think that might do it. Let's run it. Triple click. Triple click. No, wait. Hold on. That was maybe double click. Let me do it again. That was triple click. There we go. Okay, so all rooms are selected. Triple click on the corridor. Oh, but it added, it didn't just only select them. Why is that the case? 1, 2, 3. Well, that time it did. Maybe I have the shift key down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think maybe I had the shift key down. I think, or maybe it was a state bug that I'm not going to be able to reproduce. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looks like that's working. Okay. All right. I think that's a good time to end the show. I feel like we did some pretty good stuff here. We've got selection working. We've got flood selection working on the rooms. We can do multiple selects to grab several rooms. We can add our own kind of selection as well. Cut from the selection. Zoom in and out. Pan once we're zoomed in. And we can even alt and drag to select an area of interest and zoom into that. So overall, I'm going to call this a pretty good show. Pretty good show. Let's go find folks that were out there following and get a raid going out here. CLW. Let's go send you over to CLW. We'll do that, kids. Thanks, Will, for your help. Appreciate it. Oh, you're of type of tile. I got to go look into that. I'll do that offline after we raid you. Say hi to CLW for me, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.